Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this important episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda, and if you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. As always, if you learn something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Please ignite the subscribe button and please enable notifications. Remember, the name of our channel is Ignition Time. Now, because of the stimulus talks being deadlocked, a lot of voters, a lot of individuals are extremely unhappy, and this is putting it mildly. But what was interesting is that slightly more voters across the board blame President Trump and the Republican Party more than the Democrats. Now, let me be clear. I do believe everyone is to blame in this, and I do believe that, everyone could have done things a little bit better. And you'll never see me on this channel criticizing one side or the other. I'm going to try and present you a fair and balanced picture. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. But it is interesting, and you'll see this article on your screen from Morning Consult. And the article reads, going into election day, voters narrowly place blame for the collapse of stimulus talks on the Republican Party. GOP is essentially the grand old party, the Republican Party, and they blame President Trump. So President Trump, there you are. It seems like voters narrowly blame you a little bit more than the Democratic Party and their Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, leader of the Senate. And it seems like the Senate bears a little bit more responsibility as far as voters are concerned. Now, this poll, if you will, was done between October 23rd and October 25th, and there were two sets of people in the poll. One set of people, there was almost 1,100 people in one set, and there were right around 900 people in another set. And I'll show you the results of this poll, and this is interesting what's going on. So basically, 45% of those who were surveyed said that the president and congressional Republicans are at fault for the inability to reach a stimulus deal, another big stimulus deal. About 2 in 5 voters said that Democrats are responsible for the gridlock in stimulus communications. 69% of Democrats blame Republicans for the failure to reach a deal on economic relief, and 65% of Republicans blame Democrats for the stalemate. So it's almost even when you consider party affiliation. And independents, this is interesting. Independents attribute fault for the lack of a stimulus agreement more to President Trump and the Republican Party, 43%, as compared to Democrats, 34%. This, I think, is the thing that might concern the president and the Republican Party. And it's very clear that there's going to be no stimulus before election day. But again, by a slim margin, voters are putting the blame more on the president and more on Republicans, according to this new poll from Morning Consult and Politico. In fact, let's show you the poll on your screen right now. And as we take a closer look at these numbers, this poll represents a share of voters who said the following are to blame for the lack of an agreement on an economic stimulus bill. As far as all voters are concerned, this is the summary of all the voters. 25% blame Republicans in Congress, 19% blame President Trump, 16% didn't have an opinion, and 41% blamed Congress. But the problem is when you add the 25% plus the 19%, you have a grand total of 44%. And that is a thing that might bother the administration and Republicans getting into the election, because a lot of individuals generally vote up and down the ticket. In other words, if you want a Republican to stay president, you generally, I say generally, because each one of us makes our own decision. But generally, if somebody votes for President Trump to stay president, they may end up voting for a Republican Senate as well. So if this demonstrates a trend where people are unhappy primarily with one side, then we can see possibly what lies ahead. Let's look at how Democrats did. As you can expect, Democrats primarily blamed President Trump and the Republican-led Senate. So 43% of Democrats who were surveyed blamed Republicans in Congress for the stimulus problems, and 26% blamed President Trump, and only 16% of them actually blamed their own leaders, presumably referring to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And Republicans, as you might expect, primarily blamed the Democrats. So 70% of Republicans blamed the Democrats in Congress, meaning the House and the Senate, and only 9% blamed Republicans in Congress, and 11% blamed President Trump, which is which is interesting. When you actually add up the Republicans blaming the president and the Republican Party, then you have 11 plus 9, which is 20%. But on the Democrat side, you saw the number in blue. In other words, people who blame Democrats, who are registered Democrats, that's at 16%. So you can see the level of discontent is actually slightly more amongst Republicans, which, by the way, accounts for the narrow margin by which the president and the Republican Party are being blamed in this particular poll. Now, here's the important part. Let's take a look at independents. And independents, 18% of independents blamed the Republicans in Congress. 18% of independents blamed President Trump. 27% didn't have an opinion. But what's interesting is that 36% of them blamed Democrats. So when you take a look at the actual numbers, you see that amongst independents, there is an even split, if you will. So again, this is very interesting when you take a closer look at these data points. Staying on the same graph, you see that when individuals were asked, should President Trump and Republicans in Congress shoulder the blame, that's represented in red in the lower section of this image. So you'll see 45% of all voters said that the Republicans in Congress and President Trump should shoulder the blame, compared to 40% who said Democrats should shoulder the blame. So this is the interesting thing. And when we look at independents, you'll see that 43% of independents said that the blame was more towards President Trump and the Republicans. Just incredible. Again, this survey was done from the 23rd through the 25th of October. It had a split sample of 1,067 voters in one sample and 923 voters in another sample. And there is a margin of error of 3 points. But this again is very indicative of where things stand right now. And I do want to emphasize that the breakdown amongst political parties did follow, expectations of what you might expect Republicans and Democrats to say. Let's show you the chart one more time on your screen. 69% of Democrats said that the blame lies with congressional Republicans and President Trump, compared to 19% who said it's with congressional Democrats. And 23% of Republican voters said Republicans in Congress and President Trump are at fault, while 65% blamed the Democrats. So that is where things stand right now. Everybody, let me know what you think of this data, and please comment below and let me know your thoughts. I'm looking forward to engaging with our community, because this is a very unusual time for all of us. At the time that I'm recording this video, the stock market is down by almost 1,000 points today. And we live in highly unusual, highly turbulent times. I'm hoping that we have a decisive winner next week. I'm hoping there's further stimulus, because those who need help the most should indeed get it. But taking a look at this chart on your screen, let's show you the chart one more time. You'll see that narrowly voters across all spectrums are putting the blame a little bit more on President Trump and the Republican Party. And we don't know yet whether this is going to be an indication of things to come. But I'm pretty sure we'll know in a week from today. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I really appreciate you being a viewer and a subscriber. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time. Please get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000. You can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you can get added to our email list. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time that you want. You can also follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. And also please follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also the same, ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Now keep in mind, YouTube does not always send out notifications on time. So all you have to do, the solution is very simple. Simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition_time on your browser. Bookmark youtube.com/ignition_time on your browser, and you'll be able to visit the homepage of our channel and watch the videos at any point in time that you want. I really appreciate you watching. Your vote of confidence in us and the entire team behind the scenes at Ignition Time is you simply clicking the like button, you igniting the subscribe button, and you igniting that notification button, because remember, the name of our channel is Ignition Time. Please participate in our community below. Our community is growing very rapidly. We are all very proud of our community, which is now like our family, and we are building a big community, and I invite you to be a part of that community. As always, you'll find the link in the description section below to all our resources, all our references, so you can check them out for yourself. And finally, please share this video with friends and family members so you can help us spread the word and we can pass on this knowledge, because our goal is to provide you with transparent information and let you be the decision maker. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.